The rumbling wiped out 80% of the world's population, leaving no chance for those willing to escape the Colossal's hellish march. After convincing Ymir in the path and acquiring the power of the founding Titan, Eren released the Titans from the wall and used them as a weapon to destroy the rest of the world, surging with his army to eradicate all sources of life outside of Paradise Island. The rumbling was the most devastating event in the Attack on Titan universe, and officially turned Eren from the downtrodden anti-hero of the series into the most ruthless villain, even confronting his friends to achieve his plans. Even if we learn at the end of the manga that his intentions were noble, he will have ended up making the Earth a vulgar field of ruin, filled with billions of corpses. In the end, 20% of the world's population survived, despite the wave of colossal titans that swept over the world. How did they manage to survive despite this apocalypse? Before we start telling you about the 10 ways to survive rumbling, you should know that this video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. That's right, the famous fantasy role-playing game with incredible graphics and gameplay, now with several million players worldwide. With hundreds of artifacts to equip and over 500 champions with unique skills, you can build your team, develop your champions, and raid your way to victory. Use my links below to download Raid Shadow Legends to your cell phone or PC. Raid Shadow Legends is filled with extremely diverse characters, as varied as the Titans seen in Attack on Titan. Yeah, really! If you're looking to inflict tons of damage in battle, Brachus the Shifter is your man. Not only is he a total badass, but a powerful badass. The perfect example of an attacking champion. Try him and you won't be disappointed. Or another champion I love, Roxam. Easily one of my favorites. His style and fighting techniques are really cool. I'll let you see for yourself. Beating the bosses of the dungeons is awesome in this game. And with auto mode, you will be able to improve your characters much more quickly. Very effective, especially against the Fire Knight's castle, a powerful boss who has a flame whip that hurts like hell. This month, Raid has a non-stop program of summer events and activities. These include special merge events to get a brand new legendary champion, tournaments against other players, and much more. 5 new champions are also making their debut, and each one is amazing. If you're a new player, here's something to give you a huge head start in the game. Click the link in the description or scan my QR code, and you'll get an epic hero, Koronu, as well as 200,000 silver, 1 XP boost, 1 energy recharge, and an ancient shard, so you can summon an awesome champion as soon as you get into the game. You can find all your treasures here. These rewards are only available for 1 month and are for new players only, so grab them to get the upper hand. Use my links below to download Raid Shadow Legends. Number 10. Opting for underground bunkers, an effective solution against colossal titans. The march of the colossal titans was devastating because there were few places for civilians to take refuge. However, hiding in bomb shelters would have been a great tactic that would have had limited casualties. But the surprise attack by these 60-meter titans probably caught them off guard. As the Titans advanced to ruin the land and make the ground they walked on barren and unusable, they left only giant footprints in the earth. Hiding in an underground shelter would have kept them safe during this bloody march. Number 9. Creating a rift between the Titans. Henge was able to defeat one of the Titans by throwing a thunder spear into the back of its neck, creating a slight opening between the Titans, but it wasn't big enough to exploit. We know that the Titans were blindly ahead, following Eren's orders. By creating an opening, it would have allowed some daredevils to survive by passing between the Titans. Even if it is a solution that is complicated to set up, it could have worked in exchange for human lives. A breach in Armin's colossal Titan would have been much simpler. But this was not part of his plan. Eren had to be defeated first. Number 8. Living in paradise guarantees safety from the rumble. Despite its turbulent past and intense wars, paradise is the safest possible place to endure the rumbling. Eren's Titans are careful not to trample their inhabitants, which means that even non-alien residents like Yelena would avoid being crushed. When the walls collapsed, the districts were spared because every Titan that was summoned was ordered by Eren to destroy the world except for this island, protected from the rest of the world now. The island that suffered the most in the story will later become the luckiest. A huge turn of events. Who would have thought that this island, home to thousands of titans in the past, would end up being the safest refugee there is? Number 7. Rumbling can be avoided by simply flying over it. Although Eren's assault on humanity was almost inevitable, there was a simple solution to survive it. As large as the Colossals were, they were mostly stupid and could not effectively combat the planes flying over them. Thus, Air travel guaranteed the safety of any passenger privileged enough to have access. The only condition would have been to fly very high, because the Marleyan airships that tried to fight Eren suffered the terrible fate of his wrath. The ancient beast titan of Zeke literally destroyed them in midair, leaving them no chance. So they have to avoid the fight and fly over the hell that is falling on the earth from a great height. Number 6. It is possible to avoid the Titans if you keep moving. The rumbling moved in a straight line around the planet, making a single, large sweep before Eren's wishes were fully satisfied. If one started at the other end of the world, the population could outrun the Titans by heading in the direction they started from, namely Paradise Island. Eren's intention was to go around the world and eradicate everything in his path. Having accomplished this goal would have been enough. A second world tour would not have made much difference to Eren's mission. After circling the world and finding that in front of Eren was nothing but completely trampled ground in the distance, Eren would have stopped his mad march, eradicated the rest of the Colossals, and returned to Paradise Island. Although the landscape would be completely devastated, it would at least prevent the potential survivors from being crushed to death. Number 5. Staying close to Mikasa and her allies would ensure survival. Ironically, being near Mikasa is one of the safest places to be during the Rumble. Despite her proximity to Eren and his colossal forces, none of the heroes were killed in the final battle, and they could just easily protect an innocent person with minimum combat experience. A small disadvantage, I admit, because not everyone knows how to fight. The small group of Eldians managed to get out despite some complications, but in the end, they were the ones who served. Whether it was the Colossal Titans or the Ancient Titans, none of these Titans, as powerful as they were, managed to come to an end. Being close to Mikasa, an extremely powerful Ackerman would have been allowed protection during the fight, like airships or airplanes. The back of Falco's Titan is another safe place, out of reach of Eren's Colossal Titans or the Pure Titans, recently created with the power of the Founder. Then frankly, imagine yourself standing next to Levi. You know you're safe. Number 4. Joining the Jaegerists is an excellent decision to avoid being crushed. Joining Flock would have been a wise decision in order to survive the rumbling. Not only are the Jaegerists made up of skilled ex-Scout Regiment members, but they know their leader's plan better than the heroes of the Resistance could ever hope to. In addition, the Jaegerists know the threat of the Pure Titans created by Zeke Yeager, and have the skills to protect themselves. The only dangers the potential recruits face are, ironically, the coalition of scouts and the Marleyan forces. But if they had managed to survive against the Eldian resistance group, Eren would have willingly bypassed Flock and his team in order to spare them. The Jaegerists have allowed Eren to get to where he is. It would be the least he could do to bypass them. Number 3. Owning one of the Titan Shifters would increase your chances of survival. Being a Titan Shifter would greatly increase the chances of surviving the rumbling. Falco would be able to fly over Eren's Colossal Titans effortlessly, and the Cart Titan has the stamina to outrun them. And the Armored Titan would most likely survive being trampled. Remember, Berthold crashed head-on into Reiner, and Reiner was absolutely fine, unlike the Attack Titan, who totally lost his shit. The two shifters most capable of surviving the rumbling are the Colossal, who could break Eren's ranks to create an opening with his nuclear explosion power, and the Founder, who could stop the Titans from the wall even if it's not possible in the current state of things, obviously. Number 2. It is possible to survive the rumbling just by waiting for it. Are you one of the lucky ones? The remaining 20% of people that Eren failed to eradicate? Though their acts of resistance were insufficient, Mikasa and her allies managed to stop the rumbling before they could be wiped out. All it took was a little luck, being in the right place at the right time. If you're a lucky person, this solution would have been for you for sure. If a survivor managed to reach an unscathed place in time, he or she would have had to wait for the heroes to rescue them. However, it would be wise to avoid Eldians during this period, as they may be affected by the power of the Founding Titan. It would be a pity to see Eldians turn into Titans around you and devouring you. Number 1. The best way to survive the rumbling is to defeat Eren Yeager. The surest way to survive the rumbling is to confront and defeat Eren Yeager. While this may seem like an impossible task, the forces of humanity were able to cause reasonable damage with tactical bombardment from the top of their airship. In the end, every single explosive belt was viable to detach Eren from his skeletal body and cause him to lose his link to the Founder's power. Killing Eren would dismantle his entire army of Colossal Titans and save what's left of humanity. So you have to be one of those heroes to survive. What a great way to survive the rumbling, right? Would you have managed to face the Ancient Titans on Eren's back? Personally, this Titan would have been too much for me. I wouldn't be able to concentrate to defeat Eren. He just looks too awesome. And you, which technique would you use? Tell me in the comments. I'll be happy to read all your opinions. Thanks for watching this video. A little blue thumb in a comment goes a long way for us. Don't forget that I release a video per week, always related to Attack on Titan. So if you like this anime series, subscribe to my channel. You will not be disappointed. Thanks again to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. Hurry up and go to the description to enjoy it now. See you guys soon.